Day forecast.
All right, school's been out, what, 3.5 weeks now, so how many times
Right.
have the kids said, I'm bored?
Probably quite a few, huh?
If they have,
yeah.
they need to know a little bit about Michigan's history.
And throughout this month, they can do just that. Everything from learning how the Great Lakes were formed to more modern history. There's a museum at CMU for it, and Kayla and Corey are having a first look at what the Tuesday tours entail.
Good morning, guys. Well, we're taking you back to school this morning to the early 1900s, and I'm here with Bill Pretzer, and he is the museum director here at the Museum of Cultural and Natural History on CMU's campus in Mount Pleasant. So the one-room schoolhouse that most of this stuff is in is actually a few blocks away, but we brought some of the artifacts from it to give people an idea of what they'll see. This is part of the Tour Tuesdays event as well.
Absolutely. The last Tour Tuesday on July 28th will be to the one-room schoolhouse on the west side of campus here at CMU, and it's a building that was built in 1905 in Jasper Township, just east of Shepherd, Michigan, as a one-room school, and it stayed a one-room school until the 1950s. Wow. At which point it then became a boarding house for migrant farm workers who came through the state of Michigan. It was then abandoned, and in the 60s, CMU's Department of Education decided they would like to have a one-room school as an example of earlier educational practices. So it was brought here, restored, and we now give a program at the one-room school to give kids and parents a little idea of what it was like in the olden days.
Yeah, not quite like what we're used to today. So tell us a little bit about some of the artifacts that we have here.
Sure. Well, in fact, one of the big things about school in those days was because most students had practice on the farm or in a machine shop or in the retail stores because they worked all the time when they weren't at school. The idea of book learning was a new thing, and that became a really major part of education, simple literacy.
And I see that boys and girls each had their own books.
Absolutely, and in many schools, the larger schools, boys and girls would have separate recesses, or they would sit separately. There was a real segregation. In smaller schools like ours, that wasn't so much, but there was clearly a difference between boys and girls, and the book learning from the McGuffey readers, which was absolutely common. But then the other thing was audiovisual aids, and this is an early audiovisual aid. It's a stereoscope viewer. And by looking through the two lenses, you're able to see a three-dimensional image, and there were hundreds of thousands of photographs taken in the late 19th and early 20th centuries that would describe anything and everything from games and plays to foreign countries. So as a way you traveled, you saw your own country, or you saw foreign countries by using the stereoscope.
Very neat. We've definitely come a long way, and you know what, there's a lot more you can learn, and all you have to do is check out Tour Tuesdays here at the Museum of Cultural and Natural History all through the month of July. Back to you.
Yeah, something to do, like you said, get the kids out.
Right.
Activity.
Absolutely.
And educational.